Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Kirk, though. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Kirk, though. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. Who you with Kirk? I'm out. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Kirk, though. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Kirk, though. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Kirk, though. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Kirk, though. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Kirk, though. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Kirk, though. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Kirk, though. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Kirk, though. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome to Speak On It. Welcome to Speak On It. I'm welcome to Speak On It. Welcome to Speak On it. I'm welcome to Speak On It. Welcome to Speak On it. I'm welcome to speak. Welcome to speak. Welcome to speak. I'm 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 welcome to speak. Who you with, Kirk, dog? Happy Thursday to everyone. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With, Kirk, dog. I'm Who You With, Kirk, dog. Y'all know what time it is. It's Thursday night. My Garrett's in the house kicking it with me again. Miss Risky, come on in the house.
Hey,
How you doing this week?
I am exhausted.
Hey, I feel you. It's been a long week. So
Listen, this whole year, and it's ridiculous. Like November feels like a whole year. Like we just got into November and now what, next week is Thanksgiving? I was like, wait a minute, where'd those other days go?
yeah, it's really time flying by quick.
It is.
And
Like it's just ridiculous.
some days you don't know what day it is. It may feel like a Monday, but it's Friday. So, hey, but I'm glad to be here. I'm definitely glad to be here and glad whenever you able to come on to the show. Want to welcome everyone to the show. I see Eva Donkey is in the house.
Starting early.
Exactly. Then somebody, oh, you brought some crackers. All right, well, cool. Well, we're gonna swing through it real quick. Want to welcome everybody on Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, Twitch, whatever platform you are listening to us on. You can actually chat live with us in the chat room, regardless of where you are, whichever platform you own. Definitely like, share, tell a friend, and click the hearts. Click the hearts because we have some big things coming in 2021 and we want you to be a part of it. So definitely click the hearts. And don't forget, next Thursday, we will be here for you. Thanksgiving night, we will be here. We're going to talk about everything on Thanksgiving. First of all, we won't want to be the one be here for you for the ones that is unable to be with their family. So we'll be here for that. And also we're going to talk about who cooking you like and dislike. So that's going to be interesting. Welcome to the show, T Cal. He said, "Oh, it's Thursday. What's up, y'all? I see you, Risky." Yeah, I see she have one of the new shirts on too.
Yeah, I
And
have one of the shirts, got my hair out, I done
hey,
paid
we
for it, it's
both have it
dirty, but I was like, let me show it off.
You can actually click the link on Instagram and on Facebook and get the shirt also. Matter of fact, it's 10% off right now off any of the shirts or even the doggy love onesie. So definitely check it out. It's cold in plenty of areas. But we're gonna get this show started. We're gonna fly right on out. So um, it's Thursday night, so Miss Risky have history tonight. Matter of fact, I think we have kind of a double history tonight. So we definitely gonna start with that first.
All right, so we're going to be talking about Dr. Jane C. Wright. She was born in Manhattan, New York, to a public school teacher, Crane Cook, and Lewis T. Wright, a graduate of Meharry Medical College. And it's noted that he was one of the first African Americans, African American graduates from Harvard Medical School. Um, so just looking at her history, she comes from a long line of medical professionals. Uh, Dr. She Ketchum, who is her great grandfather, was first born into slavery. And after the Civil War, sometime he earned a medical degree. Her father was the child of Dr. Kia Ketchum Wright. That's a hard name. Like it's like four letters, but it doesn't look right together. So he's a physician graduate from Benkeck Medical College and a stepson also of William Fletcher Penn, who was the first African American graduate of Yale Medical School. Uh, and it's noted his uncle is also a physician. So the whole family um, just lined up with doctors. And Jane Wright and her sister Barbara both followed in their father's footsteps. Jane took the greatest inspiration from her father, who, during his 30 years at Harlem Hospital, founded and directed the Harlem Hospital Cancer Research Foundation. Uh, so Jane eventually she would attend Smith College, originally wanting to pursue an art degree. And of course, her father stepped in and was like, no, ma'am. You're going to be pre-med. So she continued on because, you do what your daddy say.
Mm.
After her studies there, she eventually earned a full scholarship to study medicine at New York Medical College. She graduated as part of an accelerated 3-year program. In 1945, she earned an internship at Bellevue Hospital. She eventually married David Jones Jr., an attorney, in 1947, and by 1949, she completed her surgical residency at Harlem Hospital, where her father was. So after completing her residencies, um, she eventually completed her tenure at Harlem Hospital as chief resident. She joined her father at Harlem Hospital Cancer Research Center and eventually succeeded him as director when he died in 1952. So in 1955, she accepted a research appointment at uh, uh, New York University of Bellevue Medical Center as an associate professor of surgical research and director of cancer research. And let's see. So what she is, and was a pioneer in cancer research and a surgeon noted for her contribution to chemotherapy. She is credited with developing the techniques of using human tissues to culture rather than laboratory mice to test the effects of potential drugs on cancer cells. She also pioneered the use of the drug methotrate, troxate, yeah, to treat breast cancer and skin cancer. And let's see, her accolades. Let's see, she's been awarded everything from Merit Awards from 1952 to Spirit Achievement Awards from Albert Einstein College of Medicine in 1965. And then in 1981, she was awarded an Tella Cromwell Award from Smith College. And eventually in 2011, an award was named after her. Is by the American Society of Clinical Oncology. The what was it, the Conquer Cancer Foundation, called the Young Investor Award. So that is what I have on her. So like she just came from a long line of like these brainiacs and these caretakers in this medical profession. And so
Exactly.
it was just pretty much in the cards for her since before she was born. And just to know that her great grandfather was a slave and ended up getting a medical degree.
Mm. That's a lot of history right there because
Yeah, like her whole family is like that's.
yeah, because even William Fletcher Penn, even though
Mhm.
he was a black physician in Atlanta, he's also the founding member of the Atlanta chapter of the NAACP.
Mhm. So
And
it's like, and I try not to deviate because I was like, man, I'm going deep in his history. I was like, no, it's about her.
yeah,
But
it's a lot. So that family itself is a big part of history. So
exactly, just groundbreaking. Like the fact that all the stuff they had to go through just to get that far. Because
yes,
with the racial bias and especially her being a female in a white male dominated uh, uh, industry. So and then the fact that her fathers and his father kind of laid the groundwork.
exactly. That's some good history right there. That was part one of the history. Um,
Yeah, the other one was the accident because it's a current event, but it's based on history.
because we actually talked about this on the show, I guess a couple of months back,
Yes.
where we talked about the bombing in Philadelphia. So this one is a current event where the city council have apologized for it after 35 years, which is
This is within our lifetime that this incident occurred.
in 1985. It happened in 85.
So people can't say, well, that was back in the day. No, this is in our lifetime.
Exactly. Took out a whole block where they actually dropped a bomb on citizen during that time. Matter of fact, it was uh, is it the organization called Move, I
Yes.
believe? Okay, the Move organization, kind of like the Black Lives Matter movement. They dropped a bomb on this Move organization to stop them for standing up for the people. So, um, and after 35 years, the city council finally apologized. All of them except one.
Right. Brian O'Neill.
Yeah, Philadelphia. Y'all hear that name right? Brian O'Neill. Need
That's
to make
two
sure.
L's.
Need to make sure you vote him out when it's time to reelect.
And
Because
then one of the council members, I think he was around during that time, and he stated that um, he remembers since he's saying this is his district, and everybody imagines that image of Osage Avenue burning,
yes,
and he remembers thinking that it was a horrible thing, and so yeah, they're bringing light to the situation and apologizing and created a resolution to try to bring about change and because they realize that there is a lack of recognition of humanity of Black people from law enforcement. Um, and it also deems that May 13th, an annual day of observance and reflection and recommitment, so that people don't forget their history and they acknowledge, this was a terrible thing and let's not repeat ourselves.
exactly. And I believe they interviewed the mayor at the time when this happened, and they interviewed him, and he didn't know what was going to happen.
Hmm.
He said he had no idea that they was going to drop a bomb on the citizen of Philadelphia. So, and he said it should be brought to the forefront. Um, Now, there's one council member that refused to agree to it. He wanted to keep it under the cover, but 11 people lost their lives, including kids.
Yeah,
Uh,
5 of them were children.
5 kids was killed. So just imagine, what if that was your child?
If they
And
dropped a bomb on your establishment,
exactly,
something you worked hard for, and you know, it's probably, you know, mostly family, and you're just, you know, just trying to figure out how to uplift and bring positive influences into the community, and then a bomb is dropped on you.
and it
Like,
took out an entire city block. I'm trying to see if I could get a good picture of it. Um,
because I think that's the first, isn't that, well, yeah, isn't that the first time like a bomb was set off on American soil?
so that's took out an entire block of what happened. Reverend Andre Anderson, what's going on Periscope tonight? And also Radio Chaos. He eased up in the house tonight. How you doing tonight? And thank y'all for tuning in. Definitely like, share, tell a friend, and hit those heart buttons. Hit the heart buttons. We're trying to do some big things in 2021, so we could definitely use those hearts. Um, it should be, I think, on the right hand side on Periscope. It should be right there on the right hand side. So definitely hit the heart buttons, and we're working on some big things coming up. Um, Actually, you just hit the video. If you're on your phone, just hit the video and they will come up. Um, so definitely do that for us because we're planning on doing some big things come uh 2021. We working on some things, so we're gonna share it with y'all soon. But that's a great double history today. Um, Guess we move on to the fun part. So my wife, she been uh it was actually let me pull it up again. Um and I can actually send it to you in Messenger. Um
Fun. Well, my
the
phone's dying, so don't.
oh,
Well,
it was
I
it
can
was
go
done
on
with
here and search for it.
AtlantaBlackStar.com. And I'm actually
No, you can send it to me in Messenger.
yeah,
I switched screens.
oh, all right, I sent it to you too, and I'm gonna send it to Reverend Anderson also.
Like for some reason, my phone's not charging. I was like, I'm at 1%.
Yeah, mine's I try to make sure I keep mine's charged. I just sent it to you, Reverend Anderson, in your message. So yeah, it's interesting. Like I say, when we do the show, any stories we report on here, we've done our research on it, and a lot of story don't make it to the to the microphone. So this next story is kind of strange, but well, it's not strange.
Well,
It's
like,
not strange.
well, when you first hear it, it sounds kind of funny, but then I was like, well, it makes sense. Like, you gotta do it. Um,
Exactly.
so the president, Michael Bailey, the cruise giant Royal Caribbean announced on Sunday that 100,000 people have already volunteered to sail free of charge on their government mandated test voyages. So, yeah. I mean, I've always wanted to get on Royal Caribbean, but it was outside my budget. So I stayed with my Walmart people on the Carnival cruises, admiring the boat from Royal Caribbean.
Hey, I'm just
And it sounded kind of weird because I'm like, who would just Like during this time, who wants to be on a boat and be a test subject? But I was like, and then I was thinking, well, are you going to leave a port or are you just going to be on the boat? Like you can't go anywhere because there's no ports that are, receive you. But Royal Caribbean has their own island.
Yeah, but it
They
still ain't worth it.
Yeah, so it's 55 miles north of Nassau. It's a private island. I think they call it Coco Cay. I don't know. That even sounds like a fake name. But it's their private island, and they're gonna begin cruising 2021 sometime. But according to uh, let's see, the cruise. What is it? The U.S. Ports Cruise Industry News reported that they must launch a simulated voyage to test their coronavirus safety measures before given the opportunity to resume operations from U.S. ports. So test sailings are among the cruise ships industry protocols, and it's instituted by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. So this is something they've probably already done, like they've already been doing. We just didn't realize it, but during this pandemic, it seems ridiculous because I'm like, so like they're just gonna throw all caution to the wind, like, hey, let's go and float, and sail the seas, and no quarantine is in effect because I guess international seas. You're like no rules,
Well,
international waters. So it's like you're gonna be shoulder to shoulder, drinking and cozying up, and just hanging out together to see if they can. Like I guess if a small group gets it, maybe they can contain it and keep it from spreading. I don't know how that's gonna work out. Like it just is weird, but I get it. I get it. Has to be
exactly.
done. But I'll let the first wave get through it first.
Well, the thing is, it's another cruise line. I think it was out of Canada or Alaska, somewhere, but they tried to go out and take a cruise, and everybody on there ended up catching COVID, and they would not let them port until they got it under control.
Mhm.
So that's a problem within itself. Um, we had a couple of comments in come in because I was laughing while she was reading it because when my wife and I was talking earlier about it, first thing I said was, if you're trying to get up to the upper room, that's a fast way of doing it. Or if you're trying to go up the stairways to heaven, you go ahead and get on that cruise. I'm not knocking nobody who tried.
Yeah, and then I'm like I talked to you off the site, and I was like just thinking about the turnaround time. Like there's no way from debarking and then having new people come on that they'll be that clean. It's like they only have a limited time to get everything fresh and clean, and then for the next embarkers. Like that's why I have my wipes. Like whenever I travel, we take our cleaning solutions, wipe down everything because there's no way that they can do that for that many people.
Exactly. Um, I know Radio. He actually toured with the cruise as a band member, so he knows a lot about the cruise line. And he's like, the stories I could tell you about working on a cruise ship would make your
Listen,
head spin.
I mean, listen, I can imagine the stuff that goes on. Like restaurants, they're not the cleanest. No, they're not the cleanest places, but I don't want to know their habits. As long as my Szechuan chicken fried rice is right and doesn't kill me, I'm good. I don't need to know what goes on back there. Gordon Ramsay doesn't need to show us how dirty the grill is. I don't want to know.
Hey, um, Reverend Anderson asks, how did you guys get started doing this show? Um, I had a vision last year before the pandemic. Um, I wanted to do a show because of some of the things I've gone through in life, because I felt like with sharing those things, it could help someone. So that's the reason why the show was birthed. And not only that, I said from the beginning, I did not want to do anything with politics at all. But as you can see, it seemed like every day we talking about some type of politics. So, um, but we are making changes. We still gonna continue to talk about politics. Um, we're gonna go with the flow, and at the same time, we are gonna help people. Um, just like having Miss Kincaid on uh, Tuesday night. Um, I have a passion to have counselors on to come over and help some of the listeners. And matter of fact, Reverend Anderson, I want to talk to you about something too. So off air. So exactly. Um, I want to talk to you about something that I've been thinking about. So um, I think I still have your. I know I still have it. If your number's still the same, I'll call you tomorrow, and we'll talk off air about it. But I we asked that same question about. I wonder how many black people were on that is going to be on that
I
cruise.
think it's going to be a mixture because again, Royal Caribbean has like it's always been like that goal that even like my sister and I have we have great, decent jobs, but the Royal Caribbean is like still a little bit outside our budget. But whenever we're on Carnival cruises, we're like, man, they got a rock wall. Is that a movie theater? Like it's like the Disneyland of, cruises. And we always want to go. So I'm sure it's going to be the people who still don't believe in masks and, they're like, oh, it's free. I'll get on. I've been on it before. And it's going to be a mixture of those and the Walmartians. That's what I call my group that can only afford Carnival cruises. And they're going to be like, oh, I'd like to take that for free. And it's on an island. So they'll get their drinks and have their, it'll just be an opportunity for them. So, you have adventurous people on both sides. So, but I would still like to see those pictures to see what the breakdown is.
I don't need to see the pictures. I just want to see the numbers once they come out because
Because that
uh,
one patient zero gets on incubating.
exactly. Because I feel like what's going to happen, the ones that are taking advantage of it are the ones that don't believe in wearing a mask, and that's going to become a hot spot.
Hmm.
And that's a problem within itself um, when people don't want to wear a mask.
And then
I
you think also, sorry, but like so they, say the COVID is rampant on this boat. They come back to port. Are they letting these people who are just all COVID ridden off this boat? Or are they going to have to wait it out on the boat? Like I have tons of questions. Like I have questions that I'm sure none of those volunteers have asked. Like I have tons of questions. Like what if? And
yeah,
that's what
that
they
what
start
if?
with. What if
Um, that what if is ooh, it can
the
it's a big
Corona cruise sponsored by Corona?
everybody get free corona. And we're
If
not
mine is
talking
on the
about
margarita, I'm in.
the so it's definitely something I personally wouldn't do it. My life is worth more than a free cruise.
Yeah,
And
I'm just gonna nothing good is ever free. What's that saying? Is that it?
which one?
What's that saying that nothing good ever comes
Oh,
from?
ever come free?
Yeah, it's something like
All
that.
right,
But
everything that is free is not good for
yeah, that's it.
because you will go. You're probably gonna
There's
end
a,
up going up to the upper room real quick.
we're gonna have the running runs, and that last cruise. Remember, they were stranded. And the
Woo.
toilets and the septic systems was backed up. They
Yeah,
had to sleep on the balconies because there was the overflow of
I could just.
sewage.
Uh,
And the funny thing is, we were on that boat and
oh
we had
Lord.
just disembarked, and that was the same boat that was in the middle that got stranded. Like things just shut down, and I was like, "That was our ghetto boat," because we were like, when that was the first time on that line. I don't even remember the name of that boat. Very ghetto. Like things were peeling. I was like, "Ugh, this is like the cheap boat, like from 1970." But yeah, it broke down, and their septic system or whatever, their sewage was all backed up, and they were sloshing around. And they had flip flops. Listen,
And you know it's
oh, I'm
probably
so glad we weren't on that.
and you know it probably was some people that oh
Listen,
yeah. I I
like
I
like
think
people were actually on the decks because they couldn't go to their rooms. Everything was backed up. And I was listen, that's not so glad we were off. I was like,
exactly.
that's our boat. We just got off that boat, and 3 days later, in the middle of the ocean, broke down, sewage backed up.
Won't he do it? Boy, he
Listen,
said
he knew.
y'all.
Listen, he knew. I would have jumped in and been like, "Flipper, Flipper, take me to shore."
Let's say you become Aquaman, Aqua Woman.
Listen, I would be talking to the mammals in the sea. I don't care.
T Cal actually said, I heard you on that. I talked about trying the Virgin Cruise. Rich. I said I want to do the Virgin Cruise myself because everybody on there is 18 and up. So I'm like, hey, I would love to try that Virgin Cruise. It is rich still. It is
Like all the
costly.
good ones are
Uh,
expensive. Like I want to
so
do that Norwegian cruise. What is it? Yeah,
yeah,
in touch with my Viking roots.
um, yeah, they probably would. Um, Radio said I saw 20 passengers get into a fist fight on the pool deck once. You know what? I remember seeing that on the news several years back, where it was a big fight on a cruise ship. I think it was Carnival, but I don't know for sure. Um,
You see a lot of things on Carnival.
when I took a cruise, it was actually nice. Matter of fact, before COVID hit, we supposed to been going on a cruise last May. I think it was in May, and
Hmm.
just before, right after it hit, and we were like, mm-mm. I called our traveling agent, said, "Hey, can we get a refund?" They said they probably won't give you the full refund, but 2 days later, they called us back and said, "Hey, you can get a full refund if you want to."
Hmm.
You can wait. I'm like,
Give
refund
me my
for
money.
all. Exactly.
Yeah,
Um,
Carnival was like, because we were still pending, and then Carnival was like, nope, he ain't going nowhere. It's like, all right, well, they canceled it, and they gave us the option to get full refund or a credit. I was like, I don't believe in credits.
that would be good. You know what? What if and I see what Reverend Anderson said. There are packages that allow you to pay in advance, months in advance. Yes, I get the email from Virgin. Matter of fact, Ski Chill is the one that told me about Virgin, and I'm like, that's nice. That's nice. Um, but Virgin, Royal Caribbean, Carnival Cruise. If y'all want to sponsor us, and,
Listen, Carnival is like $20 a day. They are desperate to get people on their boats. I was like, mm-mm.
uh, now, if y'all want to sponsor us for 2022, we in. Um, but it have to be after COVID gets
Yeah,
over.
this has to die down a little bit. Let the
Yeah,
first batch of what is it, the vaccine go out.
see how y'all do on the first.
Yeah,
But
man.
I do love Virgin because you get free Wi-Fi while you're there.
I never use online stuff, like, because when I'm
I
out,
don't.
I am out. Don't contact me. I'm
I
on vacation.
I I never used it. Well, I take that back. No, I didn't use it when we went on a cruise because it was almost 30 of us that went. And I found that about the karaoke night on the last night. On the last night was when I found that about it. I'm
Listen,
like,
we
wait
hit
a
every corner of that boat. And usually we get bored because then we've done everything, but then we realize, you know what, let's go to all the shows, let's go to all the things. And then one of the nights it was like movie night, and we just laid out on the deck watching a movie.
I think
So
we was going from uh poker table to don't judge me, poker table to
yeah, I don't
then
think
we
we
found
had a poker table. Oh no, we
well
did. I
it
just
was
didn't do it.
electric poker table. And this young kid, you know how I play. I sit back like I'm a stalk you for a minute and see if you playing or not. Then I'm gonna call that bluff. And this young kid, he kept bluffing. I said, okay. And I waited. I waited. I counted his hands. Every hand he was bluffing. I said he can't be getting a good hand every hand. So
Hmm.
I waited, and I caught him slipping, broke him, and broke him real quick. He had to jump up from the table. Oh well.
Kind of
Oh
like my
well.
situation earlier today. One of my poker pals had a pair of aces, and this is an online poker game, Contenders Poker, and so I'm on there, and this is the second time I've had a pair of aces, and when I get them a second time around, they usually get cracked, and I hate it. But I had enough chips to where I could just kind of scare people out of the pot, except one, my poker peer, and I was like, please do not let him catch anything. But the flop looked kind of it was low, nothing was connecting. So I was like, well, he can't have a flush, he can't have like a straight because they're all over the place. I think I'm still good. And so he didn't go all in, but I took him, like, I think he had 10,000. I took him down to like 600. Took all his chips, and then he sent me a DM talking about, like, what did he say? I forgot what he said. He was like, "You scoundrel."
Hey, I'm like this. It's no friends when it come down to poker. Um, I
Yeah,
I don't
but it was all in
I don't
fun.
get a chance to play anymore. And we do a free poker, so um, but it's it's actually relaxing, and that's
It
actually
doesn't
how we.
relax me. I don't know why I play this game because it stresses me out.
Well,
I
for
was like,
me, I'm doing it for fun because if I win, cool. If I lose, cool. I don't get
yeah, but
upset if
I
I
like
lose
winning.
10.
I like winning.
I
And
do too.
it just cuts my soul when people chop me down, and I was like, but I should have won that. I get all pouty, and I was like, I don't even want to play no more.
Radio said he actually. Oh, I'm sorry. We had a couple of we had a couple of messages come in. I did not see them. I apologize. Reverend Anderson said they're a package that allow you to pay in advance. Okay, yeah, I did that one. So after the fight like that, what do you do? Let the party begin. um, Radio said he worked for Carnival Princess and Royal Caribbean Cruise Line. And he said no security showed up to fight, just ended with nobody getting in trouble.
And you know, where is security? Like they always promote security on those boats, but I remember we had to actually call security on one of our cruises. Like there was an altercation right outside our door, and it was a domestic. And
No.
so we're looking at the peephole, and of course I'm with my sister and her friend. And they're both police officers, but we're off duty. And we hear, and it's getting like we could hear some hands being, thrown or something. So we open the door because it's a man and a woman, and then we look, he's with a child. And I was like, oh, and the woman was the aggressor. And we were like trying to settle her down and, try to calm the situation, called the security, and nobody came. So after we kind of broke them up, made them go their separate ways, because she was still doing this, security comes like 10 hours later, like, oh, no, we heard it was a fight. Like, that was like 2 days ago, dude. Why?
They had to wait. They had to wait until they made sure it was over with before they
Like,
showed up.
I guess, because I guess they figured that, some big couples. I don't know.
Like Radio said it before, he could tell you some stories about the cruise line.
Yeah, the security is like non-existent. It's just like they're just there for the uniform and a free ride.
Hey, and tax-free money. That's all it is. He'll be like, hey, yeah, I roll for tax-free. Um, Man, speaking of tax-free, let's roll over to the next story. Um, 50 cents. 50 cents. My wife, she recorded the reel, and this morning she was watching the episode with 50 cents on there, and he alleged that Trump campaign and team came and offered him money to support him, and I'm like, okay. Now, for him to come out on national TV and say that, it have to be some truth to it.
But also, he's kind of messy too.
He's messy.
He's a little messy. Like, he probably took something and blew it up more than what it was. You know what I mean? Like, they probably were like, hey, can we use one of your songs? We'll pay you. And then it turned into, he tried to get me to support him. Yeah, I don't know, like, how to take it sometimes, because he's so full, he's so full of crap.
Well, he did allege that Lil Wayne was made the same offer, and he believed Lil Wayne took the money.
He probably did.
So
I
the
mean, Lil
question
Wayne's
is,
about to go to jail. He needs somebody to pardon him.
exactly. That's why I mentioned the other night. I'm like, well, look, is that the reason? Since the charges came out on Lil Wayne from having the gun last year, I think, that was found in his suitcase on the plane in Miami. I'm like, is that the reason why he's supporting Trump and talking about prison reform? Because
Probably.
he's trying to make sure he could get out, and he's
Probably.
facing up to 10 years. So the question is, did Lil Wayne take the money? Do you think he took it, or
I believe he took something.
to be on a picture smiling that hard? I'm like,
Listen,
hey, Wayne, if Lil Wayne, if you out there and you want to speak your mind, you can always reach out to me, and we
mhm,
can have you on the show, and we will talk about it, because I want to know what the conversation was like. And it, I just couldn't. I could not sell my soul for something like that.
I mean, I could, but they wouldn't hit my numbers. They find somebody who works less.
Would say, be like, no, keep adding zeros.
Hmm.
Keep adding zeros.
Yeah, like,
Keep
I have a
going.
price. I'll be like that lady that was behind him.
Talking about
Like,
at the
they were like, what is she nodding for? She, like, every word,
talking about
count them
those checks.
zeros.
Those checks.
That's
She
how
was
many
counting them by
zeros in
one.
that
Talking
check.
about, mhm.
And it cleared. Like, I
What she
can,
did, she looked at her bank account on her phone like,
like, she got that alert.
mhm,
It's
I
good.
got it. He zelled it to me.
Hmm.
He cashed at me that money.
Listen, you don't put that on Cash App, because
No,
the
that's
scammers,
too much.
eh,
That's
well, the
too much.
scammers, they'll go up in there and you end up with $0. Zealot.
That's too
Bank
much money on
wire.
Cash App. Uh-uh.
That's
T-Cal asks, what's the real option? Toss you off the boat? Talking about that fight. And Radio said, if they catch you with drugs or throwing something overboard, they'll toss you off. Falling down drunk or fighting, you can stay. Okay. Um, Welcome to the show, Robin. I seen you come in earlier. I spoke to you, but welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Um, yeah, he always seemed down and dirty. Oh, she told me, I'm sorry. I guess I moved on a little bit too quick. But that's interesting. So, how can they get on the boat with drugs? Because
Easy.
I'm not gonna ask that question no more. That's my motion pills. That's what it is. That's for that's for the motion.
Listen,
I get
I've
seasick.
traveled with people who are medicinal users, but they don't have any medical conditions. I just leave it at that. And one of them, she just put it in places, and the other one, I don't know. I think she smoked it when she was on there. Like every time I turned around, you just walk into a cloud. It's like, you got weed? Like, where are you keeping it in your hair? Like, just random. But I
I'm
wouldn't do
out.
it now because, like, when we went to Cancun, it was somewhere, and we got off, and they had the dogs out there sniffing everything. So keep it on the boat if you got some, because if you go off, you're gonna be in that jail with cockroaches and dirty toilets.
I think when where did we go? Cozumel, um, on the cruise, and when we did that cruise, I think I had bought a couple of Cuban cigars, and they wasn't good. They were so dry. I
Mm.
was like, waste of money. But hey, I was nervous to bring them back. I was like, can I get them back? Guess they
See,
said, oh,
they don't check. Like if you put them in the bag, they don't search your bags. Like you just declare it if you're honest.
you're like,
Like
yeah, I got
me,
a couple of
I had
Cubans.
like some tequila and I forgot I had the little mini bottles and I had them in my thing and I gave them the big ones. And I was like, oh, they didn't even check this. And so we spiked all our drinks with those mini tequilas.
Uh, she still talking. T. Keller, you talking about going on a boat causing problems or something?
Asking all the questions.
You want to know there are
So,
options about
yeah,
it.
she's like, so if I brought this, you just be in the down, like in the little basement part, the little cruise jail
Yeah, down there in the cruise where all the where
where
they
they
load
where
all
the
them
pipes
cars.
are.
He said they throw you off at the next port. Man, then you got to find you. I did not say serious.
Uh,
Then you have to find your way back home.
Siri's trying to help you. You need some help? Embassy.
Should I search this for you? um, that was my speaking of serious. That thing I sent you the other day. The guy was talking to serious about that direction.
Huh?
You don't remember that? Where
I
the
don't even know.
series was the guy was getting direction,
Uh-huh.
and Sirius was talking about to him and said, "You must not remember. I'm the one that control your brakes."
Oh, no, I don't remember that one.
Oh, there you go.
What? Do you know I've
I
slept
get it.
since then or not?
I know. Yeah, that's true, especially when you poured into me. See, when we went to went to Jamaica several years back, um, first time going. Please don't judge me. Um,
Oh, I'm judging.
but first time going to Jamaica, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be a Jamaican for the 4 or 5 days we here. And our bartender, um, she started making me. I was drinking Jack and cranberry, so she recommended that why don't you get a Jack and cranberry frozen? So she starts blending it together. Now it's hot there. It was hot
Not
those
for
couple of
no
days.
reason.
And I'm at the pool, I'm drinking those, and I'm like, man, you talking about it seemed like it was more liquor or something that just had a rush. I said, Lord. So when we got ready to leave, the lady asked me, why are you sweating so hard? I said, look, woman, I've been here for the last 5 days. I enjoy jump culture. She was like, okay, go ahead. I said, all right. I did drink. What's that Bob Marley drink?
See,
Yeah.
I didn't have time. Like the people I was with, they didn't want to explore. But of
Well, we
course, there was a travel alert for travelers. So we stayed, like we went to, I think it was Nassau though. So we were in
okay.
the Bahamas. Um, and we didn't go to that, the, what is it? The nicer resort where everybody goes with the pyramids. I forgot what they call it, Paradise or something.
Something like that.
It's
Yeah.
something like that. So we stayed on like the neighborhood beach with lots of rocks and stuff like that. And the drinks they had were in coconuts. And I had my big old water, but it was like hot for no reason. Like it was sweltering. And I was like, you should feel at least some cool air from the ocean, like just coming up on you. But no, it was just hot and heat, like all at the same time. And so I was just like dehydrated. I was exhausted. I'm drinking this coconut concoction. And I was like, well, coconut has, it'll keep me hydrated, but they had a lot of rum in it. So I was drying myself out. I ended up like sleeping on like one of the loungers, and I was like, "It's dangerous, but I don't care. I'm taking a nap. Wake me when medics are here. I don't know."
Well, when I went to Jamaica, it was actually my first time. Had a great time. We stayed at the Hyatt, um, which was good. We did leave the resort one time. We took a tour, went to the city. We didn't get out because the cab driver, he was like, he drove around and he locked the doors when we came around in the city. I'm like, what's going on? He's
Like,
like,
dude, didn't you see the travel alerts?
yeah, he was like,
They
this
were
is the
serious.
market area. I
Mhm.
don't stop here. I said, okay. But we stopped and it's a famous jerk chicken place on the side of the road. We stopped there and got some jerk chicken. But we did the Rose Hill. It was the Hyatt Rose Hill. So it's a Rose Hill, the White Witch tour that we did, which was really good. And a lot of history behind it. And you can actually find the story online, but that history where it had all these slaves out here. This woman killed every husband she was with, and she had a secret path to the ocean. So if she killed someone, she actually put them in this secret path, and they just fled all the way down to the ocean for nobody could see them, and they
She's just
disappeared.
dumping bodies.
She was, she was,
Yeah, I wonder if
and
she had an episode of Snap because I've been watching the ID channel like nonstop.
not only that, like the slave that she had to dispose of the body, she turned around and killed them too.
Of course.
And I'm like, man, and she slept with a lot of her slaves too.
Of course. That's what
So,
you do. That's what they're there
but
for
they
your
said,
entertainment and labor.
but they said that why once she died, um, normally they will put a cross on each side of the casket of the tomb they put her in, but they said they felt that her ghost was not in there. So instead of blocking it out, they only put a cross on three side of the tomb for the ghost can come in and out as as it please, and it's not locked out. So I was like, okay, and it's you can actually find the story online. We did do the tour, and I was like, man, and I'm like, okay, it's getting nightfall. We need to get up out of
Mhm.
here.
But T-Cal
I'm
said it's
like,
Atlantis. Atlantis is what I was trying to come up with. We didn't
okay,
go to Atlantis, and we should have, because everybody came back. Oh my gosh, we had so much fun! Blah blah blah. Blah. The beaches are so nice, and I was like, we had rocks
exactly.
and a
Radio said,
coconut.
radio said, don't get in trouble if the next port is Russia or China.
Well,
Mm-mm,
ain't nobody taking
mm-mm.
cruises
Neither
up
one of
there.
those.
Like
Uh,
we're thinking tropical,
and
but
he
I
said,
will be a Viking.
Jamaica was the most dangerous port.
Yeah, like
Uh,
it, like we travel alerts, like,
exactly,
and even Mexico is like now is like don't go there.
exactly. Um,
Like I wouldn't go.
when we
Like
went to Mexico 3 years ago for our 10-year anniversary, um, after we was looking at all the report, but after we left, it was kind of like at a upscale resort because we got married in Mexico and then went back for 10 years and we stayed at the same resort, but it's a different thing now. I said, I don't think we'll be going back to Mexico no time soon.
listen,
So,
I remember when I think I was 19 or 20. My friend and I, that was our first trip, ever. So we went to Mexico, and we were all over Mexico. Like we were on the buses, we were in cabs. We got dropped off by jungles. Like we're like no, like because the bus driver wouldn't stop, and then ended up like 5 stops away from where we were, and here we are in like these little mini dresses, walking in these like residential areas in jungles, being called brown boogers. But we later figured out they were calling us brown sugars.
oh,
And we were like, why are they calling us brown boogers? Brown boogers. We're like,
no,
oh, brown sugars. So we just walked really fast and we made it to our resort.
normally if I go like to Mexico to a foreign country, I pretty much stay on my resort. I
Yeah,
choose,
but we were young and we were adventurous. Like we went to flea market. We went everywhere. And
yeah.
I guess we figured we were safe because, we were brown skin.
Now in Aruba, we went to Aruba, which was great, but it was just the wrong time of the season because Aruba, they're normally busy seasons our winter season, and we went like a month before. Well, about 2 months before, 'cause we went in September for our anniversary, and it was actually nice, even though a lot of stuff was closed. The temperature was great, but it was. I wish more things would have been open.
Yeah.
But of course, if you go during the peak season, they were saying I probably would have paid about 3 times more than what I
Oh, yeah.
paid for the trip. And I was like, really? Okay. uh, well, don't have to worry about that. But Aruba is good because we did a um, a tour there, which they have like a real party bus.
Of course.
No windows on the bus. You on this bus and you driving and they encourage you to hang out the window. Folks walking down the street, you hanging out the window, making noise, and they like scaring folks. This guy fell off a bike, and we actually went to Bruce Lee cousin home, I believe, and had dinner, which was really nice. Went to the beach, and we did a toast out there. And on this party bus, they took us to different bars in the city that was they famous bars or whatever. And with this particular party bus, they gave everybody a cup, and you got the signature drink from that bar. So it was good. We had a fun time.
Yeah.
We enjoyed
Yeah,
it.
my goal is to go back to Ireland, but this time during St. Patty's. Because
I've
we
never
were
been.
there the week leading up to St. Patty's. And we had a fun time. It was great. I mean, we were drunk by 10:30 in the morning. I was like, why are we hot? Like we where are we going next? Oh, we're going to the Guinness Museum now. Like every drink museum, you're going to drink. And
Yeah.
we had like these VIP passes at I want to say it was Jameson's, um, the like their museum, and they showed you how they aged their whiskeys and all this stuff. They gave you the history of it, and then you drink samples. And we did VIP, so we got 2 extra samples. And then the end of the tour, you get one of their signature drinks. So here we are with like 6 shots and the signature drink by 10:30 in the morning, and
Oh
we're like
wow.
this.
Yeah.
So
That's
wetting. I was like, and it's like 50 degrees outside, and you're like, I'm hot. I'm
yeah.
glad we had layers. But it's a
That,
fun time. But I would like to see the festivities of St. Patty's, because they advertise this countrywide drunkenness, and people were already falling out of bars leading up to it, like the day before. Like people were literally just falling over, and it's just like, "Hmm, that's this."
that's because they were drinking a breakfast.
Yeah,
Uh,
and the funny thing is, like, I I hate Guinness here. Here is disgusting. You go over there, it is so good and smooth and hearty, so you can have a pint and be good.
mm, okay.
Like, yeah, it's real nice.
When we go on trip, I really don't drink much because I like to know what's going on around me.
Yeah, yeah.
uh,
Well, see, I don't drink to get my girl wasted. No, I need to remember, and I need my kidneys because as much as I drink, one of them may be bad and needs to help the other one out.
yeah. Well, when we went to first of all, when we got married, I'm not going to call no names, but my crew. Um, let's just say when we first got married in Cancun, uh, we all went to dinner at this restaurant once the crew made it there, and we decided to take shots. And the waiter, he got tired of going back to the bar, so he just brought the whole bottle out there. And every time we took a shot, he filled it back up. It's some pictures somewhere where a couple of us was kind of asleep at the pool.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna say no name. And then when we did our 10-year anniversary, our crew went back, and some new members of the crew went, and I just had to say, I'm not drinking no damn more.
Listen, when you get older, hangovers it's just painful.
I don't have that problem with hangovers.
No, I'm
I,
just like, because I remember, because I was trying to relive my youth, hanging out with this 20-year-old. I had, this is before the COVID. And so I was like, you know what? Why not? I'm not doing anything but watching TV, and playing online. So I was like, we were going out, and I don't even think I was playing poker then. I think it was just like I was hanging out with this 20-year-old who's like, hey, let's do something. They're doing Taco Tuesdays. Oh, Wednesday, let's do this. Oh, there's a club. Let's go to this. And then, like, we're working in payroll. It's like, dude, I'm exhausted. And one time we linked up with the bartender and who they became friends. So all the drinks that were left at the bar that was messed up orders, we got those drinks.
mm,
And that was the roughest hangover. Like
that's good.
everything. I was like, never again.
It's good
Never
to
again. Cause it's
be
like BC powder, man. I was like, I'm so sorry. I never like when you just get up and you know you're going to puke your brains out and you don't even have time to make it anywhere.
I
And you
think
just do that projectile. It's like, oh gosh.
I think I've only been that wasted twice.
Yeah.
Uh, one time I did throw up. Unfortunately, one of my good friends, E Dove, Erica, live in Arizona now, but it was my birthday and her cousin' birthday, and we went to happy hour, at Steppers back in the day. So we went there, and she kept telling the waitress, every time you come around, bring him a drink. And I was drinking wine and Zinfandel. And I'm like, okay. Now she had just got a brand new car. We driving, she going to take me home. I'm going home. Well, we on the way to my house, and I'm like, look, I need to go to the bathroom. Now take it, it's about 6:30. She like, okay, I'm gonna pull up in this parking garage. Pull up in there and then realize she had a little bit too much to drink too. She trying to park and unscarred up her brand new car. I get out, I'm like, hey, use the restroom, get back in. She dropped me off. I felt like I was good. Um, um, I felt like I was good. So I decided to order some Chinese food when I got home. Big mistake. Huge mistake. Let's just say um, uh, my wife is no good. Let's just say when I ordered the Chinese food, I woke up, I'm like, where's my food? I called them, hey, where's my Lil Wayne? They said, we done been there, knocked on your door. I said, look, man, I'm sorry, come back. They bring it back. I throw it in the microwave, ate it. Let's just say the next morning I woke up with lo mein all in my bed. Lo mein and the smell of wine. I'm like, ugh. I said, never again.
Yeah.
Never again.
The
Now,
first time I got that drunk, like room spinning, like I always thought that was like something they made up. Dating this Navy guy. I was in my late 20s. And he and his roommate, they got off work at like 11. So they just drinking. They're hanging out in the garage, drinking. And they had an endless supply of just beer in this cooler. And they just sat in the garage drinking. So I get off work at 1 o'clock and they're like, come on over. You got to catch up. All right. So I'm drinking beer. Now, mind you, I haven't had anything to eat yet. I'm
that's the
just
problem.
drinking and drinking. And then his roommate's like, hey, my girlfriend's coming over and she's bringing tequila. 5 o'clock. Now we're drinking tequila. Still haven't eaten any food yet. Finally, I was like, dude, I'm getting delirious. I need food. Now they can't move at this point. I'm still like lucid and I'm burning it off. And so I ordered a pizza and they just hand me a wallet and then I just pay them and I eat a slice and I was like, okay, I'm good now. And then I
That ain't
think I
like
drink some more and it was like 2 o'clock. So we go to bed. I kid you not. I don't know how long I was asleep for, but I felt this overwhelming sensation that I was about to be flung off this bed. And I clawed the side, like his ribs, to hold on. Like I'm half out of the bed, holding on to him, and I clawed him, like with the death grip. He didn't even wake up. That's how drunk he was.
Yeah.
And so finally I got up and I was like crying and I was like, I need to go throw up. And his house was dark for no reason. Like he had plenty of windows, but there were like no street lights anywhere. So nothing's illuminating. I get lost in the hallway. I'm just like, I may have thrown up in the hallway because I couldn't find the restroom. And then his roommate's dog finds me in the hallway and I was like, and I'm like, I don't even know where the room is. Take me to the room. And that was like the lowest point of my life when the dog had to help me back to the bedroom. Like he's like a CNI dog. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, that was like a nice vow never to drink like that again with those boys. That was
Well,
horrible.
you
But
can't.
the roommate's dog saved me because I would have just fallen out into the hallway.
Yeah.
That was a good dog.
My wife gonna send me a picture telling me that don't forget about this night. Did you count this one?
Oh Lord.
Well, that was my 40th birthday. She surprised me. We all went out to dinner. One of my cousins came up. Well, two of my cousins came, my sister, and I think my brother came too, and our crew came. And after the dinner, we went to the keg because I love the keg. If we can, you can sponsor the show too. um, so we went to the keg, and after that, uh, me and the crew, we all went to another bar, and they kept buying shots for me, and I'm like, okay, what are y'all trying to do? I can hold my liquor, and I'm drinking, having a good time. I'm like, all right, fine. But at the end of the night, one of my BFF of the crew gave me this CD that had another one, Bite the Dust, on it. They say, I don't know for sure. They say I kept playing that song and calling everybody in the crew. That's what they said, but I haven't seen no video of it. I haven't seen no proof of it. And according to my phone record, it didn't happen. So if if you don't have it on video,
It didn't
it
happen.
didn't happen.
That's
So
what I like about our generation, like plausible deniability. Like we had no photos. We were just in the moment doing stupid random stuff. And then, you just get around your friends. Oh, don't tell nobody about that night.
exactly. Now I will say early on, put it like this, my first project party I went to, that wasn't good. I have a friend. I've been friends with them since I was 16 years old, and um, went to this project party. Let's just say drinking gin straight out the bottle wasn't a good choice. Like I said, do not judge me. Um, yes, we do. Um, so when we got back to my friend's sister house, I just remember being on the couch and I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden I start doing like this. And then all of a sudden I heard, Curtis, I'm gonna kick you. I had threw up all on the floor. I woke up the next morning. I'm like, what is that smell?
You're in
All
it.
of my clothes. I'm like, oh Lord. And I didn't have no change of clothes because I wasn't planning on spending the night. And I had to ride the bus home. So that wasn't good. So yeah.
Yeah, I've never vomited on myself, so that's good. But I have like totally missed things that were right there. It's like
Hey.
half in, half out on the walls. It's like The Exorcist. I was like, where's all this coming from? It's like never again. Like,
Right.
how did this happen? I only have this.
So we have a couple of comments. I know we reminiscing tonight. Um
Oh, what
uh,
are we gonna do for Thanksgiving exactly? And what are we doing the normal time? So I can plan because I'm gonna be at my friend's probably earlier that day, and
yeah,
then I'll get home and we can just cut up.
we'll do at 8 o'clock, give people time to get home. After they on eight, uh, hopefully that itis haven't kicked in, and we would come on at 8, and we're just gonna have a good time, kind of like how we did last night. Um, ask anything we're gonna talk about. Did you enjoy your Thanksgiving? Hopefully you are being safe, and if you did go to some family house, hopefully you are safe.
Yeah.
Who food that you like and who food you didn't like, because you can't eat everybody food.
Mm.
And
That's
some
why I need
people,
to find out what my friend has on the menu.
yeah, because some
It's
food,
like, what are you doing? because I
I
don't
know
do weird casseroles and
mhm,
stuff with marshmallows. But I'm
exactly.
making a peach dumplings, which is like a peach cobbler. Now I hate cooked fruits, but I can bake. I love baking for people, so I'm gonna make that.
I'm not gonna bake anything today.
I
That was one
am.
of the question last night. SAL asked me what is my go-to dessert for Thanksgiving. For me, I love pecan pies, love buttermilk
Sweet potato
pies,
for me.
sweet potato
I
pies.
got two in the fridge right now because I was like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna have that'll be
What
my
those? Oh,
breakfast, lunch, and dinner with coffee. So good, by the way.
what the patties?
No, sweet
Oh,
potato pie,
that's what I'm saying. Patties, sweet potato pies are homemade.
not patties.
Oh,
Ew.
they
Have you
homemade?
tried those?
Yeah, I have. Matter of fact, matter.
Like, I wanted
I,
to slap her not because it's good, because it was horrible. I'm sorry. Patty, your pies suck.
that's what made me start cooking sweet potato pies.
Like,
I was
no,
like,
like Kroger and Sam's Brand and Walmart, because they're from the same, they have good sweet potato pie.
I love their pecan and buttermilk pies, but
I don't think I've
I'm
had
like,
a buttermilk.
I can. You never had buttermilk pie?
I don't think so.
Don't do it.
I don't know.
It's
I may have. I don't know.
it's
Is it
great.
like chess pie?
Kind of like a chess pie, but it's a little bit sweeter.
Sweeter
You
than a chess pie? Chess pie give you diabetes.
well, that buttermilk
Is in the
is on
same
the
family.
same
I think I've had both the chess and a buttermilk, but it's
buttermilk
been
is good.
so long.
I
But
love them, and what I started to do, I'm like, you know what? Instead of going out buying them, I could just make my own, and
yeah, I make good sweet potato pie,
I
but I
do
just didn't feel
sweet
like
potato.
doing that. I'm gonna do one of those little thing. I think for Christmas I'll do one of those sweet potato things with the pastries that I saw on Facebook going around with the marshmallows on top. It's like a mini pie, but like a souffle or something. I don't know. I may
Are
do
you
that.
talking about sweet potato with where they just put the marshmallows on top and bake it?
Yeah, but little things. They're little pastries.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Hold on,
Just
let me
don't,
see if my phone's on. I can send you a
just
picture.
just
Cause
don't
it's
put
like it's cute, and I was like, "That's a cute idea."
please do not put no raisin in it.
Do I like
Uh,
listen raisins? But I already told you I don't like cooked fruit.
no,
What am I gonna except for like raisins belong in oatmeal. That's it, and cereal, but not in food. You put some fruit in my food, we gonna fight.
yeah. Oh,
Raisins, grapes. I do not want to be surprised.
let me answer a couple of these questions. Yes, radio. We do have the keg here, um,
What is
and
a
actually,
cake? 'Cause I've never. I think I've seen it, but I don't know what it is.
oh, the keg. That's the big. Every bar have kegs where you get the beer on draft.
Oh, I thought you were
Yeah.
talking about a place.
Oh, and well, he may be because I'm thinking keg beer. I prefer not draft, but yes, if you're talking about the restaurant, yes, we do have one here, and I love them. I love getting the bone-in rib pie. Love them, and a steak like that, you do not have to add any type of sauce to it or anything. Um, it's good. I'm hoping you're talking about the keg restaurant. Um, when you said the keg, I thought you was talking about beer since we were talking about alcohol.
All
But
right, I'm gonna show you these. So these are sweet potato crescent bites. They
okay,
have pecan or a big piece of pecan on there. I don't know if you can see it, but
okay,
they look cute and good. So it's like a whipped um, sweet potato with your seasonings, and you throw the marshmallows and your little pecan on it.
yeah.
It's
I
cute.
I like sweet potato pies. If I had a choice, I do a caramel pecan pie, which is really good.
Never
Uh,
had that.
oh, it's good. You don't use as much sugar. You replace it with the caramel, so it's really good. You can find a recipe online. what's that? The the place that make the caramel. And they have a recipe for it, and it's really easy. You just have to know your oven because some of them cook different. You don't want it to cook too fast. So, but it's really good. And I love buttermilk pies.
Right.
Like I said last night, uh, I had to stop buying sweets because I'm one of those people. I may have a taste for something sweet. I will buy it and don't eat it. And then my wife, she ended up eating it. And I'd be like, why you eat up all the dessert? Well,
It's like,
why you keep buying it? So
because my belly wanted it.
yeah, I'm shaking like that. But normally if I bake something, I may bake it and give it away or somebody. But I love sweet potato pies, pecan pies, and buttermilk pies. Which buttermilk pies, I used to make pecan pies. I would have to make about six of them at a time because so many people would want one, and I just give them away. Um, uh, Eva Donkey says sweet potato pie. I shut my mouth. If you have a good sweet potato pie, you will open your mouth, and you'll be like, "Man, can I get another slice?" And if you
Listen,
warm it
that's
up
why I
just a
started
little
making
bit,
my own or buying them from like one for me, because I'll literally just take the pie and just take a fork in there, eat, and drink my coffee, and then put it back, until I'm ready for another session.
exactly. Um, so I I'm like, hey, I prefer to do my own because a lot of these pies in the grocery stores are frozen anyway, and it's just not the same when you cook it fresh. Because pecan pies, I love pecans, and I love them.
They have a really good pecan sweet potato pie at Papados.
Yes, and I've added pecan to mine before.
So good. I
Uh,
tried. It didn't work out. I mean, it was still good, but it didn't have the defined layers.
yeah, um, so you just have to work with it. Radio
Yeah.
said, I'm surprised I didn't know the keg was in the US now. It started here in Vancouver in 1971. Yes, it's one that is over in Arlington is the one I visit, which is maybe 20 miles from me. And um, and they have a good happy hour too. That's what a lot of people don't
And see,
know.
there's a couple of them that's not too far from me.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
there's
one
one in
in
Plano, one in Irving, Las Colinas area. See, that's the
yeah,
one I was familiar with, but I've never gone.
and their happy hour, they have good food selection on a happy hour that is like, wow, this is pretty cheap. I need to come up here for happy hour. So it's really good. I do like them, but if I go there, I might have to give me a bone in ribeye. I already know when I go, between my wife and I, we're looking at spending about 150 because
My hair just scared me. I was like, you noticed that little jump. I
I
was
didn't
like,
know
what
what
is
you was
that?
doing. Need a
that little blonde strip looked like a spider on mine. I was like, what is that?
need to
I was
watch
trying to play it cool, but I was like, you know what? I jumped.
need to watch service online a little bit more.
Uh, there's no wine. It's just Dr. Pepper because
I
I
said
was
watch.
sleepy.
I said watch church service online a little
Oh
bit
my
more.
goodness, that was crazy. I scared myself like the cowardly lion. It's like, who's pulling on my tail? Oh, it's me.
Exactly. Um, but
That's what happens when I don't drink wine or something during the show. I scare myself.
I actually I open up another bottle of the red Cali because red wine is good. I haven't drunk any liquor in a while um, because with the workout I do,
Yeah.
it's hard when you go in there the next morning be trying to drink after having some Paul or some Buccaneers or something. I'll be like,
Listen, I'm looking at the kegs menu. The appetizer mushroom Neptune, I must have. I must have. It looks
I,
so good.
they may have it on happy hour too, because happy hour is
Listen,
like,
it doesn't even matter. I saw the picture and I saw the description. Tanya wants.
hey, I'm just saying on happy hour, they may be like $5 or $6 for them.
And then I would
So
get 2 orders.
exactly, because we went one day for happy hour, and we was going for, I think we was going for lunch or something, and it just so happened to be happy hour. It's like, okay, let's do happy hour. So it was actually pretty good. It was
Ooh,
good.
peppercorn New York,
Oh yeah.
crusted strip loin, whiskey sauce, 12 ounces. I could tear that up.
All the thing I get from there when it come down to a steak is the bone in ribeye. And because it's bone in,
Mhm.
I'd be like, I have a dog at home. I need to take this bone home. Because there's certain things you shouldn't do in public. And
Yeah, don't be sucking on them bones in public.
you got to be able to get all the meat off that bone. And I'm like, look,
Like, I like red meat. I don't cook it often or at all, but I do like a good steak. I don't know what steak I like, like I've enjoyed a few. Like I don't have like one cut that except for like maybe a prime rib I wasn't crazy about.
I
I
would
don't
do,
think. I don't know.
I would
But
do,
New York steak seems to be my go-to. And then maybe a filet.
I normally would do a T-bone. If I go to Saltgrass, I do a T-bone. Yeah, holler at us, Saltgrass. We do eat well. Yeah, we could do some steak. I could use a good T-bone, but Saltgrass, um, I do a T-bone. The keg, I would do a bone-in ribeye, and it's good. You don't need no sauce, no nothing for it, and it's good.
Listen, I went to what is it, Sawgrass, and I got a T-bone, and they cooked it just right to where even like the fatty part just melted in your mouth.
Exactly,
I cleaned that bone. I was just like, listen, I don't care. It's good. There's
yeah.
nothing left. I killed that cow.
It's been a while since I guess the last time we went was for our birthday, and because it was COVID, we got it to go, and we it was actually for my wife's birthday, and went and got I got a T-bone. I forgot what she got, but uh, got it to go and came home and set it up on a candlelight dinner. Like we was like, hey, um,
I should order
not at
something
all.
with my red wine.
I don't want nothing with that name Trump in it. Yeah, I don't want nothing like that. No, I haven't. Is it at the keg? I don't. I wouldn't try it just because of the name. Um, but I do love their bone-in ribeye. That's the only thing I get from the keg, and it's great, really great.
I
I
may
like.
check out the Las Colinas location and see where it is, but I may be ordering something to go.
Okay. Now, I like Brussels sprouts.
I love
Uh,
little baby cabbages.
I do too. Now, the only problem I have when I order them from a saltgrass, unfortunately, they either burn them
Mm,
and it just don't turn out right. You have to know how to cook them just right. And I do love Brussels sprouts. I cook them at home from time to time, and I will saute them at home too, and some garlic. Like I said, I love garlic. But hey, we are here. If you just tuning in, you are listening to Speak Under with Who You With Kurt, though. Thursday night, Miss Risky is in the house. You could catch us. Well, you could catch the show Sunday through Thursday, 8 p.m. Central Time. And on Thursday night, we have Miss Risky up in the house. She always come out to hang out with her boy. She act like
You
she.
stalk me.
I was gonna say she act like she don't like me during the rest of the days, but we actually text and send each other message all day long. So um, I'm trying to get to prepare for Thursday night. But you can always catch us online on social media. Miss Risky, where can they find you
I'm all over Instagram. Love it. RSKEE. You can go to my webpage, rskeebooks.com, to check out my works. I'm still working on something so I can put out something new. I'm progressing slowly, but I'm progressing. And Twitter and Facebook.
at? I see radio said you have to have a ribeye steak for dinner tomorrow. Man, that sounds good, but I'm backing away from that red meat right now. So but um I need to start back writing my second book. If there's anyone that is a book agent, we both are working on books and would love to have an agent because I feel like both of our books will be on the New York bestseller list, and we want to be able to do it the right way. Yeah, we can self-publish, but I think our books is worth plenty, and our goal, ultimate goal, is to um, have a movie behind them. So,
I'm thinking Showtime series for mine.
yeah, hey, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. So,
Yeah,
if
speak it
somebody
to
is
existence.
somebody is listening to have that connection, reach out to us. You can reach out to me, um, and I will get it in contact with Risky or with Mines. I feel like it's a bestseller. Um, both of them are pretty good. Also, you can follow me on Facebook um, and also Instagram a lot. You can send me messages. If you follow me on Facebook or Instagram, you could go click the link in my bio and you can order merchandise for the show to support the show. And definitely check it out. We have a lot of good things coming up in the future. Um, gonna have a lot of great, excited shows coming up too. So definitely be a part of it. Whatever platform you are watching on, please like, share, tell a friend, click the notification. We don't care who you are. This is a platform for everyone, regardless of what your background is, what political party you are a part of. We don't care. This platform was built to give the people a voice. Um, you may not have someone to talk to, but we here. You can talk to us, and it's no judgment. So you could definitely do that. I know we're a little bit over. Miss Risky eyes getting low. But next, I will be back Sunday night, 8 p.m. Central Time. Risky will be back next Thursday. Yes, Thanksgiving night, we will be here. We will have the phone lines wide open. You can call in. You can talk about who cooked what and who cooking you didn't want to eat. So we're gonna have a good night on Thanksgiving night, but you can catch us Sunday through Thursday, 8 p.m. Central Time. And if there's something you would like for us to speak on, you can email me or DM me, and we can make it possible. We could definitely speak on it. In case you don't want nobody to know who you are, we could talk about it. Also, one last thing before we go, um, we're we're gonna work on something. I've talked about it in the past. Talked about trying to get a speed dating together, online speed dating, and what we're gonna do is work on that. You can send an email if you would like to be a contestant, try to get you a date, or if you want to be somebody who want to be a volunteer to try to um, get a date with a woman or anybody actually, male, female, um, whatever your preference is. When you send an email, let me know um, what you're looking for. Put all the details in there because we want to try to connect you with the right person. So, and that's one thing that we're gonna have coming up for the first of the year. So we're trying to get contestants in now if you want to be a part of it. So other than that, I guess we will see you Sunday night, 8 p.m. Central Time, and want to thank everyone for listening. Hopefully, the things that we said tonight, um, it was it was heartwarming for you. Um, but we do take this show very serious. Try to bring positive energy. Give you time to take away whatever you're going through. So I will see you Sunday night, 8 p.m. Central Time. Hopefully, everyone have a good time. Be safe. I love each and every one of you. Until then, peace.